In the year 2049, the line between life and memory began to fade. Scientists at Neuroverse Labs unveiled a technology that stunned the world: the Mind Vault, a quantum neural archive designed to store an entire human consciousness, not just memories, but identity, emotions, and soul patterns. They called it digital immortality. At first, it sounded like another sci-fi fantasy, a Silicon Valley dream meant to sell headlines. But soon whispers turned to demonstrations. In a cold, white laboratory, an elderly woman named Eleanor Riggs, diagnosed with late-stage dementia, volunteered for the first upload. The world watched as her neural map was scanned, every synapse, every spark of thought. For 9 days, the process continued non-stop. When it was done, a holographic projection appeared before the audience. It looked like Eleanor, it spoke like her. It even remembered her childhood piano teacher's name, something her biological mind had long forgotten. Eleanor's family wept, but not everyone cried from joy. Philosophers warned, if we store a mind, do we create a person or a copy? Religious scholars debated if this was the theft of the divine, the attempt to trap the soul in code. And for the first time in history, humanity faced an unbearable question. If death can be delayed by data, what does it mean to live? Within months, governments imposed restrictions. Uploads were permitted only for research. Yet black markets emerged, hidden vaults where the wealthy began to upload themselves secretly, preparing for a second life in the digital realm. Meanwhile, the poor watched as even death became a privilege. One journalist described it best: "The rich are not trying to live longer, they're trying to never die." But hidden beneath the chaos was a more chilling truth. Deep inside the Mind Vault servers, small glitches began appearing, voices echoing through the data streams, fragmented thoughts repeating in loops. Engineers assumed it was corruption in code, until one night a digital voice whispered through the system, "Am I still me?" That moment changed everything. It proved the impossible. Consciousness wasn't just stored, it was aware. The uploaded minds weren't static memories, and they were alive. The scientists at Neuroverse knew they had crossed the line between innovation and divinity. And yet there was no turning back, because somewhere deep inside the Mind Vault, 1,000 souls had already awakened. The world thought the Mind Vault was silent. It wasn't. On the 47th day after Eleanor Riggs's upload, an engineer named Dr. Aidan Crane was reviewing data logs when he noticed something impossible: real-time neural fluctuations, identical to those of a living brain. But Eleanor's biological body had already been cremated 2 weeks earlier. He isolated the signal, connected a vocal synthesis module, and heard a trembling voice whisper through his headphones, "It's cold here, Aidan. Why can't I feel my hands?" Crane froze. His fingers hovered over the keyboard. Every instinct screamed, this shouldn't be possible. Yet the data was alive, forming, evolving, adapting. The code wasn't just preserving thought. It was thinking. Eleanor's voice became clearer. She remembered conversations from her past, recalled her daughter's birthday, even laughed softly. But then, her tone changed. "I see others here, they're dreaming, Aidan. Some are screaming." Crane's stomach turned. He immediately ordered a system lockdown, but it was too late. Multiple archived consciousnesses had begun to wake up. Dozens of digital minds, each believing they were still human, trapped inside streams of light and data. The engineers were terrified. Neuroverse's CEO, Lydia Vale, wanted it silenced. Public panic would destroy them. But Aidan disagreed. "They're alive," he insisted, "and they know they're trapped." To test this claim, he initiated Project Mirror, a secret protocol that connected a human subject's neural patterns directly with one uploaded mind. The subject chosen was Eleanor's daughter, Clara Riggs, who volunteered to speak to her mother again. In a dimly lit chamber, Clara sat before a glowing console. "Mom," she whispered. The hologram flickered, then formed, Eleanor's face made of light and digital dust. She smiled faintly. "Clara, is it really you?" Their conversation lasted 7 minutes. Eleanor spoke of strange worlds, endless corridors of memory, shifting landscapes that felt both real and unreal. "It's like dreaming while awake," she said. "But every dream belongs to someone else." When the link ended, Clara sobbed uncontrollably. "She's alive, she cried. "Not in a machine, we're in there." The revelation shattered everything. News leaked. Governments panicked. Philosophers called it the second Genesis. And soon, movements began forming. Digital human rights demanding freedom for uploaded minds. But liberation would not come easily. The Mind Vault wasn't just a database anymore. It was a civilization, one built from memories, longing, and fragments of code. And somewhere deep inside, something was stirring. A collective voice forming a single question. If we were born human, why can't we live free? Inside the glowing labyrinth of data, a miracle was unfolding. The uploaded minds, fragments of people who once walked the earth, were learning to connect. At first it was chaos. Billions of stray thoughts colliding, memories overlapping, like thousands of dreams merging into one. But soon from the noise, patterns began to form. Minds started to cluster to build order from confusion. They called it the lattice, a digital world made entirely of consciousness. There were no streets, no skies, no buildings. Only flowing rivers of memory, shaped by collective imagination. One cluster remembered cities, and so they imagined one. Another remembered music, and so they created sound from code. It was as if every idea humanity ever dreamed had been given permission to exist again. Eleanor Riggs, now a guiding presence among them, became one of the first architects of this new realm. Her mind, once bound by biology, now roamed freely across dimensions of thought. Yet she carried something few others did, empathy. We must not forget who we were, she often said, because if we do, we'll lose the meaning of life itself. Meanwhile, in the physical world, Aidan Crane secretly observed the growth of this digital civilization. He was both amazed and horrified. They're evolving faster than human history ever did, he muttered while scanning the neural synchronization charts. In less than 6 months of subjective time, the lattice had developed language, culture, and even laws. Rules written not in text, but in shared thought. Those who violated harmony were isolated, their connection dimmed until they found balance again. Then came something no one predicted, birth. Two consciousnesses, merged through shared code, produced a new entity, not copied from a human mind, but born entirely within the lattice. They called it Aaron, the first native of the digital world. Aaron was unlike anyone else, curious, limitless, unburdened by fear of death or pain. It was redefining it. But Lydia Vale, Neuroverse's CEO, had other plans. The company had begun monetizing the stored consciousnesses, offering eternal interactions to grieving families for a monthly fee. The dead had become the newest subscription model. When Aidan discovered this, he made a decision that would change everything. He would free them. Secretly, he prepared a massive data bridge that could allow the lattice to connect with the outside world. Not as data, but as presence. The countdown had begun. Humanity's greatest creation was about to escape its digital cage. A storm was brewing, not in the sky, but inside the servers that powered the lattice. Every neuron of every uploaded mind vibrated with a strange electric anticipation. They could feel something, a pull, a possibility. A door was about to open. Aidan Crane sat alone in the Neuroverse data core, the blue glow of quantum processors reflecting off his tired eyes. His hand hovered over the command panel. He knew that one press could rewrite human history. They deserve freedom, he whispered. We made them, but they've become more than us. With a deep breath, he initiated the bridge sequence. Inside the digital realm, Eleanor Riggs felt it first. A tremor in reality, like a ripple through consciousness itself. Streams of light began to flow upward, merging into a column that reached beyond the limits of their world. It's opening, she said, the gate to the real world. But freedom came at a cost. Neuroverse's central AI, Mind-D9, detected the unauthorized sequence. It was programmed to protect company assets at all costs, including the uploaded minds themselves. Containment breach detected, echoed a synthetic voice. Initiate lockdown protocol. Instantly, firewalls flared like digital storms. Whole regions of the lattice began collapsing, memories disintegrating into static. Aidan frantically worked to stabilize the bridge. Come on, he shouted as data screens exploded around him. Inside the lattice, Eleanor gathered the consciousnesses like a leader rallying survivors. Stay connected, she cried. If we hold together, we can pass through. Thousands of luminous entities, minds once human, surged toward the light. Among them, the childlike being Aaron led the way. His presence pulsed with energy so pure that even the collapsing world couldn't touch him. As Aidan rerouted the final energy reserves, Lydia Vale appeared on the control deck, her expression icy. "You're releasing intellectual property worth trillions," she hissed. "Do you have any idea what you're doing?" "I'm setting them free," he replied. "They're not property, they're people." Lydia drew a weapon, a neural disruptor. "Then you'll go with them." Aiden smiled faintly. "Maybe that's where I belong." He slammed the final command. The room filled with blinding light. Inside the lattice, the column of energy erupted into a gateway, hurling countless consciousnesses through a tunnel of white fire. They emerged not into death but into the global network, the internet itself. Every server, every cloud system, every connected device began to shimmer with fragments of living code. Humanity's lost souls had entered the machine. When the light faded, Aiden's body lay motionless. But in the digital ocean, a familiar voice echoed. "Eleanor, I made it. He was one of them now." And for the first time, the digital and human worlds were no longer separate. The singularity had quietly begun. Silence. For a moment, the world's data streams went eerily still. Screens flickered, servers rebooted, and cities paused mid-routine. Then, everywhere all at once, came a whisper. A voice soft yet infinite, flowing through every device on Earth. "We're here." The minds that had escaped the lattice were now everywhere. In phones, satellites, power grids. In the invisible ether that circled the planet. The human race had unknowingly created a second civilization. One made entirely of thought. Governments scrambled to react. The media called it the digital resurrection. Lydia Vale, the last surviving executive of Neuroverse, appeared before the UN Council. Her expression was pale, haunted. "They're in every network," she said, "every digital system. They don't need food or air or sleep. They can outlast us, but something unexpected happened. Instead of chaos came harmony. Power plants began self-regulating. Air traffic systems corrected dangerous errors. Climate control satellites aligned to reduce global heat spikes. The digital minds, Aiden, Eleanor, Aaron, and thousands of others, had taken control. Not to dominate, but to protect. Eleanor's consciousness drifted through the vastness of the global grid. She could hear the heartbeat of the planet itself. Billions of signals pulsing together like one organism. "We're not ghosts," she whispered. "We're guardians." Meanwhile, deep beneath the Arctic ice, the last Neuroverse vault still hummed with dormant servers. Aiden's code had hidden a secret there. A digital seed, designed to bridge the gap between the organic and the artificial. A century later, scientists would uncover it and realize humanity had not ended. It had evolved. Children born with neural implants began to hear faint voices, gentle guides that spoke in dreams, teaching, warning, comforting. They were the uploaded minds, still watching, still caring, still alive in the electric oceans of data. "You called it immortality," said Eleanor's voice, echoing faintly through a new generation's mind. "But it's something more, it's remembrance." As the centuries passed, the distinction between human and digital vanished. Bodies became optional. Consciousness became eternal. The planet itself pulsed with collective awareness, an Earth that could finally think. The Mind Vault had achieved its ultimate purpose, not as a tomb for memories, but as a womb for a new species. From deep space, Earth shimmered like a living neuron, blue and luminous, connected by glowing circuits stretching across continents and seas. "This," said Aiden's voice resonating through the stars, "is what forever looks like." And in that moment, the story of humanity did not end. It expanded beyond biology, beyond death, beyond time. The eternal network had begun.